Hey everyone, welcome back to Normal Guy of the North. I wanted to do an update on the new Italian line of destroyers that are coming to the game that are now going to close test for patch 0.11.0 and why this entire line is dead before it even finishes testing. So as I sit here and enjoy my Tim Hortons steep tea, it's a large 2 milk, it's what I do, it's very Canadian of me. I started going through the blog. I haven't watched anyone else's blog, and then I started going through the tier 2 all the way up to tier 10 plus the premium ship, which you're seeing in front of you. So I thought, looks kind of cool. The reason why it looks kind of cool is I have to admit the art department does a phenomenal job with getting the realism done. And the one thing about the realism about these ships, they're actually real. They actually were a correct class of ships that were developed by the Italian Navy. In fact, I'm not going to read this, but if you just pause right here, you can see they're actually based on the Regina Marina class of ships. These are very well-armed ships, but it has, in my view, one flaw that is going to make it impossible to play these ships, all of them, and I'll show you in a second here. They do have phenomenal pen on the SAP and HE. SAPs, you know, they're in the 30, 38 millimeter range, and the HEs are well in the 20 to 25. So they do have good pen. They have no HE penetration on the L-Bank, say at tier 10. But here's the problem that that I want everyone to read. And when they say low range, they do mean extremely low range. This is not a joke. So here we go. This is the new Tier 7 premium ship that's coming out. It's based on the Jupardi class, which I'll get to in a second. This one looks pretty good because it now has a smoke generator, which is cool. But I want to show you the entire tier. So I'm going to scroll down here today and go through this. Here's a Tier 2 boat. Maximum firing range, 5.8 kilometers. Now you ready? I'll go all the way down. I scroll a little quickly here, sorry. All the way down to the Tier 10. Maximum firing range, 8.5 kilometers. I know HE armor pen 23 mil. This is not going to penetrate the Elbing, I believe. It will be able to penetrate the gearing of most destroyers. 38 millimeter pen on SAP does a lot of damage. But yeah, so when I look at this boat, the tier 10 Pan Asian destroyer can outrange it by I think about 4 kilometers. This equivalence puts it down in the tier 2 to tier 3 range. So, I mean, we're talking tier 10 here. So if I wanted to compare it and I wanted to go through, and let's look at the Italian destroyer, the tier 9. This is a poor man's version of the Paolo Emilio, the YOLO boat. She has a smoke generator, you know, emergency engine power, so she gets a boost. Get it. This is basically the Paolo Emilio again. The problem is she can only fire 8.5 kilometers. The Paolo Emilio is 11.3 base. Our torpedoes don't even hit as much and are as hard and don't load as quickly. But again, this is a showstopper for me. This boat, again, look at the pen, 23 mil and 38 mil. Nothing's really changed all that much. Like, it's really not that heavy of a hitting boat. I also say when you start going down into the normal tiers, which is tier 6 and tier 7, you get down to 6.5 kilometers. That's it at tier 6. I believe, I could be wrong, I'm not going to go through it, but I'm pretty sure that every tier 2 and tier 3 boat can outrange you. Heck, I even think that, yes, even the tier 1 boats can outrange you. Now, why is this a big deal? It's simple. If you want to get into a gun battle, and it doesn't matter, you fire every 5 seconds, it just literally doesn't matter. You cannot engage someone if you can't reach them. So this boat is never going to be used for kiting away. It doesn't matter. Now, the one good thing you'll see is that the smoke penalties are extremely low. So I think the idea is for you to use your exhaust smoke generator, engage in a firefight, and go after it. But with these ranges, and I just want to scroll down to some of the bigger numbers here. At tier 9 and tier 10, I'll pick on the tier 10 boat, for instance. Your 8.5 kilometer range means that my Kitakazi, my Haragumo, my Akazuki, I can outrange you at all tiers by almost 4 kilometers. The closer you are to me, I have the same, not so much smoke penalty that you do. So while you're going boom, boom every 5 seconds, I'm firing every 1.8 seconds. And I'll tell you right now, a lot of people who can fire into smoke will figure out where you are, and you will be devastated. You will be destroyed. It doesn't matter, in my opinion, if a Kitakazi was at half health and you're at full health. I'm going to beat you in your smoke 10 out of 10 times. This is a problem. To be honest, I'm not sure what the HE double hockey sticks Wargaming was thinking about this. I'm not sure what Wargaming's thinking here about this range, but it's not great. Now, if I go down here for the premium at tier 7, the Japata class, this is actually kind of cool. You do get, look at this, 12.7 kilometer range. That's a good shooting range. She's got nice torpedoes, 8 kilometers, good speed. All the torpedoes on these boats are slow torpedoes. I think there's a few things like the Elbing and a few other boats, the German battleships, the new ones, that are a bit slower, but not by much. But these are very slow torpedoes. You could literally adjust speed, turn, do something, you're going to miss. They're not fast. Now, she does have exhaust smoke generator, which is kind of cool, not just smoke you could either creep or just sit back. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. This one, I believe, will be a lot of fun at tier 7. But again, if you're going to give a premium boat at 12.7 kilometers at tier 7, and then you scroll back up here to the tier 7 boat, which is only 6.8. Wow, like that's a huge, huge difference. It's almost twice the distance. You're not going to be able to gauge things. So I went through this new line. This will be a short video. I'm not going to lie. I went through this line. I went through every kind of stat, and I honestly, as God is my witness, I thought these were all typos until I went back and double checked what they said up here, and they physically did say that these boats are going to have extremely low range of the main caliber guns. So like I said, it doesn't matter how, I don't care if you have 460 millimeter guns in these boats. If you can't reach something, you can't hurt it. And I can sit here with a boat, know that I can keep out of your firing range, and just do daka, 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 daka. Cruisers are going to have a field day with these boats. Could you imagine a hydro or a radar cruiser? Most hydro is over 4K, 3 to 4K. So at the end of the day, you're going to be able to see the torpedoes. Even if you're in smoke and I charge you, I can still put my hydro up. And if you're a radar cruiser and you're at a Baltimore, a Cleveland, which has got 9 and 10K radar, you're going to die. You're going to die in these boats 10 to 10 times. Once you get fire focused, you're toast. And I mean, look at aircraft carriers. Once they spot you, they drop a set of fighters over you. These boats aren't exactly fast. I mean, they're not super, super fast compared to, say, the Italian line or the IKEA boats, the Swedish line. So at the end of the day, I'm going to say, if this is what Wargaming is coming out with, I was kind of excited about this line of ships, to be honest with you, because they're based on real boats, which I think is fantastic. But if this is what they're going to do with the extremely low range of their main guns, I will not even at all do these boats at all. They're not going to be fun at all. So anyway, I'm going to say that in my opinion, before I even have a chance to review any of these boats, I'm going to give them a solid, probably -2 out of 5. These boats cannot compete in the real world. In the higher tiers, you're dead. I cannot even think of a strategy where you're going to win. These boats are not meh. They're not good in my opinion. So, in my view, I'm going to say this entire line is dead before it even comes into the game. All right, everyone. I hope that was informative. And as always, I appreciate you coming out. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now.